Have you ever felt that irresistible craving for chocolate or candy right after finishing your workout? That intense desire for something sweet when you're still catching your breath from the gym? Many of us think, I just exercised, so a little treat should be fine, right? But is that really the case? According to a survey conducted by the American College of Sports Medicine, 68% of regular exercisers consume sweet foods within 30 minutes after their workout. What does this statistic really mean? And how are these habits affecting our muscles? What I'm about to share with you today might completely change your post-workout routine. We're going to explore the fascinating science behind how sweet foods consumed immediately after exercise impact muscle recovery and growth, based on the latest sports nutrition research. First, let's understand why our bodies crave sweets after exercise. When we work out, our muscles deplete their stored energy called glycogen. At this point, our brain sends urgent signals to replenish energy quickly. And the fastest energy source available is sugar. So feeling that sweet tooth after exercise is actually completely natural. However, the crucial factor is what type of sugar we consume and when. Research published by the University of Texas Exercise Physiology Department shows that different types of post-workout sugars can create up to a 340% difference in muscle recovery and growth. That's an absolutely remarkable finding. Let's examine how common sweet treats affect our muscles immediately after exercise. First up is chocolate. Many people love reaching for chocolate after their workout. But milk chocolate contains approximately 47 grams of sugar per 100 grams. When you consume such high sugar foods right after exercise, your blood sugar spikes dramatically. Norwegian researchers at the Sports Science University conducted a fascinating experiment with 120 athletes. The group that consumed high sugar snacks after exercise saw their blood glucose levels shoot up to an average of 187 mg/dl after 30 minutes, then crash dramatically to just 72 mg/dl after 2 hours, which was actually lower than their pre-workout levels. This blood sugar roller coaster has extremely negative effects on muscle recovery. The more serious problem is that these blood sugar fluctuations interfere with muscle protein synthesis. For muscles to recover and grow after exercise, protein synthesis processes need to be highly active. However, rapid blood sugar changes can reduce this process by up to 23% according to research findings. The second concern is carbonated drinks and energy drinks. You know how refreshing that cold soda feels after a tough workout. But a single can of cola contains about 35 grams of sugar, while energy drinks contain even more at 45 grams. Shocking findings emerged from research conducted at McGill University's Exercise Medicine Department in Canada. The group that consumed carbonated drinks after exercise showed muscle recovery rates that were 41% slower than normal recovery speeds. Furthermore, these individuals experienced an average 18% decrease in exercise performance the following day. But here's where it gets really interesting. In the same study, the group that drank chocolate milk instead of soda actually experienced 28% faster muscle recovery. This is because chocolate milk provides high-quality protein and electrolytes, along with its natural sugars. Third, let's look at processed sweets. Cookies, donuts, and cakes contain not only simple sugars, but also high amounts of trans fats and saturated fats. Research published by scientists at the German Sport University Cologne found that groups consuming these processed sweet foods after exercise showed an average 67% increase in CRP, a muscle inflammation marker. Muscle inflammation not only delays recovery, but also increases injury risk during subsequent workouts. This is particularly concerning for people who engage in high-intensity exercise regularly, as these eating habits can lead to chronic inflammation states. However, the important point here is that not all sweet foods are bad. In fact, appropriate sugar intake after exercise is absolutely necessary for muscle recovery. The key is knowing what to eat, when to eat it, and how much. According to guidelines published by the Sydney University Sports Nutrition Institute in Australia, consuming 1 gram of carbohydrates per kilogram of body weight within 30 minutes after exercise is most effective for muscle glycogen replenishment. For example, a 70-kilogram adult would need about 70 grams of carbohydrates, which equals roughly 2.5 bananas. The crucial point is that these carbohydrates should come from natural food sources. Natural sugars from bananas, grapes, potatoes, and sweet potatoes provide vitamins, minerals, and fiber that help create a more gradual blood sugar rise. A comparative study from the University of São Paulo in Brazil showed that groups consuming bananas after exercise had superior muscle recovery markers compared to those drinking sports drinks, with 15% higher antioxidant effects as well. So when and what should you eat after working out? Timing is absolutely critical. The 30 minutes immediately following exercise is often called the golden window, when muscle sugar absorption rates are at their peak. Missing this window can reduce the effectiveness of the same foods by half. Data from France's National Institute of Sport shows that groups consuming appropriate carbohydrates immediately after exercise had muscle glycogen replenishment rates that were 84% higher than groups that waited 2 hours. This directly impacts next-day exercise performance. Here's another important discovery. Consuming protein alongside carbohydrates produces far superior muscle recovery effects than carbohydrates alone. The ideal ratio is consuming carbohydrates and protein in a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 ratio. Let me give you specific ways to implement this. First, I recommend combining bananas with Greek yogurt. 1 medium banana with 150 grams of plain Greek yogurt provides the perfect nutritional ratio. The banana's natural sugars provide quick energy replenishment, while the yogurt's protein supports muscle recovery simultaneously. Second is chocolate milk, which, as we discussed earlier, provides balanced carbohydrates, protein, and electrolytes. However, choosing products with minimal artificial additives is important. Third is oatmeal with berries. Oatmeal's complex carbohydrates provide sustained energy, while berries' antioxidant compounds reduce exercise-induced oxidative stress. Adding some almonds or walnuts provides healthy fats as well. Fourth is sweet potato with chicken breast. For those wanting a more substantial meal, about 100 grams of steamed sweet potato with 80 grams of chicken breast perfectly supplies the nutrients needed for post-workout recovery. Fifth is natural fruit smoothies. Smoothies made from bananas, berries, and milk or soy milk are quickly digested and absorbed, making them ideal for immediate post-workout consumption. Adding a scoop of protein powder makes them even better. Individual differences are also very important to consider. The amount and ratio of nutrients needed varies based on exercise intensity and duration, individual constitution, and fitness goals. For example, people focused on weight loss should reduce carbohydrate amounts slightly, while increasing protein proportions. Those primarily doing strength training need more protein, requiring 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight, which is about 50% higher than average people. Meanwhile, endurance athletes need to prioritize carbohydrate replenishment. Age differences matter too. After age 40, muscle synthesis capacity gradually decreases, making increased protein intake necessary. According to data from the U.S. National Institute on Aging, adults over 40 need approximately 25% more protein than people in their 20s to achieve the same muscle recovery effects. There are also important precautions to consider. People with diabetes must prioritize blood sugar management and should definitely consult with their doctor before planning post-workout nutrition. Those with sensitive digestive systems should rest for 10 to 15 minutes after exercise before eating, rather than consuming food immediately. People with allergies also need to be careful. If you have dairy or nut allergies, you'll need to find substitute foods like soy milk, coconut milk, or seeds. Now let's create a practical 1-week implementation plan. Start days 1 and 2 with the simplest banana and yogurt combination. Observe your body's response while finding the appropriate amounts for you. Try chocolate milk or fruit smoothies on days 3 and 4. This prevents boredom with variety while maintaining nutritional balance. Switch to more substantial meals, like oatmeal or sweet potato on days 5 and 6. On day 7, choose the combination that worked best for you, based on the week's experiences. By trying various combinations for a week, you'll discover the post-workout nutrition strategy that works best for your body. Additionally, exercise-related injury rates decreased by 38%. Starting today, I encourage you to change your thinking about post-workout sweet foods. Neither complete avoidance nor mindless consumption is the answer. Making smart, science-based choices about what and how much to consume is the real solution. I hope the time you invest in exercise leads to even more valuable results. May the proper nutrition knowledge I've shared today become a reliable companion in your journey toward building a healthy body and mind. I'll continue supporting your healthy lifestyle journey.